What's going on, guys? Show the Chocobo here, and welcome back to some more Troll Pack. And as you can see, we've done a little bit of changing some stuff around and doing some more prep. We were kind of hanging out and stream, and I kept on building and doing some basic groundwork stuff, so that way we were prepared for this episode. So this episode would hopefully go smoothly, and I'm hoping it will go smoothly. We just added a basic several things. We added slabs here, so this is not going to spawn mobs on top of it, because I don't want them falling in here and dying and give me blood. And we also tilled all the land. We also added this little walkway, so you can actually kind of see it now. It is angled forward. I will say that, because I'm sure some people will be like, Choco, it's triggering me. It's not like the equal distance from the center for the rectangle in the middle. It's like, yeah, I get that, but it's not supposed to be. All right, relax. So it is centered based on the middle point of this, roughly. It's not truly middle, but you get the idea. So it's roughly based on the middle of that, and then it is based off the middle of this, right, our little gardens here, and then it kind of goes all the way around. This one is just kind of roughly the center of between here, the reactor, and the forge. So that is why that is all that way. But today is moving day, as we talked about before, and so we got to get some stuff going, and also this will come into play as we get the move going on. But very first order of business is the ME system, which is actually going to be kind of what has to happen with this. So let me go ahead and let's get this whole thing started by first extending this out by just a bit. So this part is going to be kind of like a separate little bit and piece to everything else. Now, because of the way that we're doing this, I'm trying to keep it looking relatively nice. ME system, I think, looks really, really cool. That said, it's also, despite it, oh, what? That wasn't where I was expecting to go. Even though it looks really cool, though, it isn't my first choice of leaving it exposed, because I don't think it looks that good. It looks alright, but it doesn't look that good. So I'm going to go ahead. We did get this added to the EMC value because just about everything else is in there. I didn't see why not this. And this one is actually quite important if you intend to do anything with your ME system beyond like the very basic stuff. So I went ahead, asked for them to add this into the whole mix, and indeed they did oblige us, so that is really cool. I do not know if I have an energy acceptor learned. Do I have an energy acceptor learned? I do not have an energy acceptor learned. Alright, give me one hot second. Alright, just gonna rip that out real quick, and then let me just quickly learn how to make that, and then we'll put it right back. We'll put it right on back. Shouldn't really disrupt anything too terribly much. Alright, so that's all there. That's all looking good. I will need some of the tesseracts from here to get ourselves at least started, because we do have that. The one tesseract that's already in our inventory is actually from the lava, which is kind of a weird thing, but that's just the way it is. So that is what's going on there. I should otherwise have just about everything else I need. However, since we're kind of in build mode today, and yes, this will be a very build heavy episode, so if you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with a build episode, okay, well, then this probably was not the episode for you, is probably what I should say. So just be aware that this is going to be very build heavy. So again, that was creepy as fleep. You guys can hear that, but it sounded like there was like a ghost hissing at me. It was very scary. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and drop off these things, make our inventory look a little bit neater at the very, very least. And then we can get started. Alright, so controllers, for those of you who don't remember this allows me to add a lot more channels than what is normally possible. And if memory serves, this thing will not warn me whenever it's not going to actually work. Oh, the good days. They're all flooding back to me, all my memories of raging incessantly because of the fact that I couldn't get this thing to obey me. Alright, well anyways, now we are on an even thing, which is not my favorite shape to work in, as some of you may know. So we're going to have to improvise a little bit here. And we're going to have to do a couple of spooky things. However, in our favor, I suppose, is the fact that even though we may not be doing this in a way that is going to be looking like super fabulous and wonderful and making our dreams come true, it is going to be something that we can hide away. We can tuck it away a little bit. And so that's going for us at least, right? So we can kind of like have it hidden, sort of ish, maybe, I don't know. Alright, so let's go ahead and set this so it's on receiving of energy. Redstone ignored, not that it particularly matters. And bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, it's alive. Now, If I extend it too far, it locks out like this. This means it's no longer valid and it's just down the tubes. That said, that is unfortunately what would make it equidistant and very, very good for us. So what we're going to do instead is this. I'm going to knock these out. Because I do want the controllers to be visible, actually. That is one part of this that I really do want. I'm going to test out one quick little thing here. So I cannot do something too terribly nutty with this. However, I go one higher, I think. I can do some pretty spooky stuff, I think. You cannot have it so it's continuously like nutty, but see how like that right there, the game is just like noping straight out of that situation. You can't really go too crazy with it because they'll lock it down, which is unfortunate, but you know, what else can you do? All right, well, I don't actually like this like weird kind of, looks like a really strange mask, so I'm gonna just kind of decline out of that. All right, so let's see here. I mean, I think what we want to do is we want to probably move this up. Let's move this thing up. Actually, would that work? No, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work at all. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take these controllers. We're just going to shift it up by the balance of like one of their shapes. I think that'll be a pretty good, that'll be a pretty solid way to make this all go. So 4, 5, 6, and then we'll just make that like that. All right, cool. It looks all right. It actually looks pretty good, I'd say. All right. And then, yeah, I don't think I could do anything else if I wanted to. Unless I want to make like a hashtag. Oh, no, I can't even make a hashtag. I don't know. Okay. Whatever. That's going to have to do the trick for us. And that is honestly more than enough capacity for us at this point in time. If we need to make an external A2 system, there's also no shame in that either. So there's really not like a huge reason that begs us to not do it in a certain way. Now, in order to in order to take advantage of this very well, though, of course, dense cables will be very, very crucial here. I can also use the covered cables. There are also smart cables, which allows me to see like how many channels you use and stuff. I believe you can tell with the covered cables, if I'm not mistaken. Let me actually confirm whether or not that's actually a thing. No, you cannot? I want to wait. Hold on. Maybe you can actually. Is this the? No, maybe it's the smart. Okay, you know what? Maybe it's just the smart cable. Regardless, neither here nor there, because I am going to use this. All right. So none of these things that are currently attached to it actually take up a channel, as far as I remember. These things should be extremely like. It makes zero difference whether or not you have these set up in any form, shape, or way that is too terribly spooky. And now we're going to snake these things up at different heights because they're going to have different functionality, hopefully, is what we're aiming for. They are 2 apart, which means that if I put something here, this is not going to expose it to that, and the same vice versa. So that is what the dream is. That is what we are hoping for. Now, with all this said and done, I suppose the very first thing before anything else is actually getting the ME drives, right? And I don't think 64 makes a whole lot of sense, but I do think it would make sense that they contribute to a very large part of our AE2 system. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going, in order to make this have its own housing. Oh wait, these are disk drives. Lol. Wrong. Do I not have? I thought I had a drive. Do I not? Oh. Say what? Right. I can spell languages, I swear. Blur, ME drive. Maybe it was one of those things that got stuck with the wrong processor type thing. Alright, I need to make an ME drive very, very badly. And I am blind as a bat. Alright. 2 engineerings, 4 iron, and 2 cables. We have the cables. Nope, just kidding. We don't have the cables. All right, so let's get some of those cables out here. Engineering, I needed 2, I think I said. And I am still sick. I wonder when I'm gonna get over this. And then the iron, we need 4 iron. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that does the trick. For that, let me drive. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. And then I can learn that now, and then I can, of course, mass duplicate all the drives. And also return, well, I guess I already returned the other drives. All right, so let me go ahead and let's start creating the backbone for this. Now, because of the fact that this is not like a particularly outstanding difference between these ones, besides, you know, whatever I add on top of it, I don't think it's really necessary for people to see this part of the whole thing, the construct. I don't see the point. So we are not going to worry about that. However, I do see an altogether different issue, which is I put them in strangely. All right, so I'm going to need to put these ME drives and snake them down like so. You may think this is a very ludicrously large number of ME drives. You are correct. For your average mod pack server thing, this would probably be excessive and take a really long time. For those of you who remember the KwehCraft one, it will not be as crazy as that. However, in exchange, we do have something else up our sleeves. Namely, we have the ability to use the EMC to actually get us some more stuff for making not the drives, but the actual memory, the storage. Those storage units, because they are now able to be made from EMC, is a really big deal. And in addition to that, so we have the 64K ME storage component. So if I do ME storage component, there's also these guys, right? Now, we can't make these off the top of our heads. We can apparently make 256s, which is news to me. But actually, that is really big news to me. When did this happen? All right, so 256K ME storage can apparently be learned. I did not know this was the case, but either way, I welcome it. So let me get some 64K ME storages. Let me go find that 256. And I'm going to need engineering processors, logic processors, and glowstone dust, all of which I have plenty of because I have infinite. All right, so glowstone, let's go ahead and pick up a good bunch of that. Let's get some engineering processors in here. That was probably a little bit much. And then calculation, I think was the last one. I don't remember. Engineering, logic. Logic's the last one. Logic. All right, logic processors. Let's turn back one of those guys. And then I think, yeah, we just need quartz glass. Alrighty, and then with all this junk, we have ourselves the makins. I don't know why I do know why I did that, because I can use them later on, but I have the makings of this. Now, it does not make a whole lot of sense why I made a whole bunch of 64Ks, because that is legitimately worthless to me. So let me go ahead and throw those back into there, and let me look up 256, and voila, there is a whole bunch. Unfortunately, for some reason, they aren't tiering all the way up, which is fine, right? Because they're literally all identical, so that's not the world's biggest chore. It certainly isn't the world's best thing to have to do, but I'm going to make a crafting bench because I really hate doing it from the Philosopher's Stone. It's just such an awkward button for me to hit. I know it would take a moment to fix, but I just don't want to do it. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I just straight up do not wish for that in my life. There is no part of me that wants to do that. Alright, so let me go ahead. Ooh, that is all of them. Alright, so let me see. How many of these storage things do I have the ability? I have the ability to do absolutely jack diddly squat. Alright, so glowstone. You are definitely the bottleneck here. Just because we just rifle through them like nuts. 4,096s. We did that to completion. Yes, that's whatever. And then 4,090. Whoop. Wait, is that what we made? Yep. And then the last one. Yep, that is to completion. And then, of course, we can make these. What the fleet? No, I want to. Yes, I can make these advanced storage cell housings. It is probably my interest just to make a whole bunch of them, even though they're not EMCable, which is strange because it should, but they don't. So I'm going to need Fluix dust. I already forgot what I need. Hello, brain? Would you like to cooperate with me today? All right, diamonds, Fluix dust, and quartz glass. All right, so let me real quick just leave these testes over here. These testes going to hang out for a little bit here. I see no problem with that. All right, let's throw out the steak. And let me go ahead and get some Fluix dust. 1, 2, 3. So this should make a stack of that, and that'll be a pretty good place to start. Diamonds, same thing, 3 stacks. That is 4. And then quartz glass, we'll probably want a good little extra bit of that. Alright, so storage, advanced storage. Let's go ahead and make a stack of that. Very, very cool. And then we'll slap these together. And this will allow me to not have to smack my head into a wall. Thank the Lord. Alright, and then this is probably... I can afford to put a little bit more down. Alright, so let me go ahead. Let's reach all the way down to where I have it. That's a pretty good amount. Well... Actually, that's kind of cutting it close. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Alright, is it gonna be okay? Yeah, that should be fine, right? Oh my gosh, look at how many... Okay, yeah, no, I actually do need to do this, but the number of channels is... Well, that was absolutely bonkers. The number of channels that thing was trying to make me jump for was kind of crazy. Okay, so we do have a problem here. We're going to have to extend this out. Alright, these locations for these cables will not work. I do have to actually put them all the way on the outside, which is what I did not think I had to do, but I will certainly have to do that. Because I'm going to need that extra space, because otherwise we are going to have a really, really annoying time with cables. Not that we're not already going to do it, because it's hard working with restrictions when it comes to space. Whoops. That's a dead controller somewhere. Alright, so let me try that one more time, except this time with feeling. Alright. Now we should be in some business here. And just like that. Yeah, we can actually sneak in a little bit, but it will be kind of difficult. So ME drives. Let's go ahead and do them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that should start filling up pretty darn crazily. Yeah. The thing is, they can only support 8 to a side, I believe. Well, this is kind of looking like it's 4 to a side. So let me go ahead. Let's jackhammer down a couple. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so now that's looking okay. And I guess I might need more dense cables. What I might need dense. Oh, I have an extra Fluix dust. I don't know what that was about. Oh, okay, it does split the... Okay, it does split it. That's actually super good to know. Although, I'm not sure how this will continue to go, but hopefully it goes well. I have high hopes. Alright, so let's just extend this all the way up to the tippity top-ish. And let me start adding in more of these buggers. Let me see what that thinks about that. Alright, you can tell here the channels are getting a little bit on the full side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18. That's 18. I think that's actually okay. But before I count my chickens before they're hatched, let me just go ahead and make a crafting. I should type in just the word terminal. Crafting terminal. Let me just go ahead and flop that on. And I guess what I'll do is I'm going to take this crazy storage. What the fleep did I do? Oh, I'm going to take that crazy storage, put it into one little. What? Oh, I already made them. Wool. Alright, and I'll put one of those into there. It is online. This thing is unhappy as ever could be. Is it because you're on a dense cable? Yes, it is. You're also facing the wrong way, which probably isn't helping your case. Alright, so if I just do that. Alright, and we'll just do something along the lines of this. Even though this Fluix cable doesn't actually do anything with the Tesseract, I'm just going to do it for the sake of making it look, consistent. Alright, so terminal is online and healthy, looking good. And that is all looking fine and dandy. So that is registering correctly, which is good because that means that the actual channels and stuff are all good. Let me just confirm real quick how many a controller can have. I think the number is 32. So let me just check real fast. Now we can, for those of you who remember the controllers, you can make them in like a cube, so you can expand them out depth-wise, but that is not the point of what we are trying to accomplish. What's the 32%? Okay, it's 32 per side actually, so this is way more robust than I actually thought it was. Which is good. That's good. That's definitely a good thing. That's definitely not a bad thing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and leave that there, I suppose, because there's not really anything I want to do with that. So let's go up the same way on the other side here. And let me just build this thing up. Alright, and now I can put these drives down. And this is the reason why we do so many drives is because while these ones especially will hold a stupid amount of one item, however, they don't do well when it comes to doing items in terms of if you do items, separate kinds of items, like if you had, let's say, 1,000 golden helmets, all varying durability somehow, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but let's say it's like diamond armor or something, and they all have varying enchantments and durabilities and stuff. This system will actually try to kill itself. It just hates that kind of crap. So that is definitely one thing that we have to be kind of mindful of as we go through with this. Now it is possible for me to zigzag some more ME drives down, but I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably enough for this mod pack at this point in time. If I need more, we can certainly improvise some other things, but I think for the time being, this will more than satisfy what we need. All right, so let me go ahead. Let's fill in those 7, and let's continue filling up these drives. This is going to take a little while, but it shouldn't be too bad, I want to say. It's probably going to be okay. I tell this to myself mainly because it's just I don't want to suffer a horrible time. Alright, so I need this. And then that is going to yield these. And then that into these. And actually, I am doing this in a very silly way because I actually can just do it in here, which is a way better way of doing this. And then we'll just put the advanced storages in there as well. All the glass and junk can go in there as well. Alright, so what am I missing to make the 256? I am missing, or not 256, 1024. so I'm missing storage components mainly. Alright, so let's get a whole bunch of storage components here. And then, whoops, wrong. Alright, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas. Let's see here. What do we have? We got ourselves a whopping 5 before we ran out of... What? Oh, the processors. Alright, so I need logic and engineering. So let's go ahead and look up some processors. I'm just going to get a whole bunch. Just, I don't even know. They're not even, I don't think, but I'll just throw them all in there. Yeah, they're relatively close. Alright. That should do the trick for now. Herb derp, okay. So be like, what is the problem? And we are out of glowstone, which is not terribly surprising. Alright, glowstone, come hither, my child. Oh, lordy. Alright. No, for crying out loud. For crying out loud, mate. Thank you. And then 1024s. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Alright. Now I'm going to need way the heck more glowstone. Alright, glowstone, 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 glowstone. Everywhere you see glowstone. Now let's get real up close to this inventory. Hopefully that will help kind of mitigate some of the nuttiness. We could theoretically take the time to go back and put this all into the EMC little things, but I'm just going to say that's probably okay. Alright, and there's a good number of those, and then there's a good number of these. Because we can only go up this high, as far as I know. So whatever we make of that is what we got. Alright, 50 of those bad boys. Smack them together with this, and we are actually pretty darn close. We're what? Not 7, I don't even think. We're pretty darn close to actually getting a full stack's worth, which is not bad. Alright, so let me go ahead, store up all these bad boys into here. I wonder why the expression is bad boys. It seems kind of unfair. Deserved, but unfair. And... ah, yes, okay. I'm sitting here like, where did all of them go? And I remember that I never crafted them, is where they went. Alright. And then that stuff can just sit in there for the time being. Let's go down the line. Alrighty. And look at that, just come to life. Now this storage, per item, way bigger than what we had in KwehCraft, because these things are the extra cells, like this really spooky stuff. We're dealing with like the mystically large amounts of items bull shrimp right now, because these things can hold quite a bit of stuff. So we'll see how this all ends up going down. It would appear that we are out of the 256s, so let me go get some more of those. What the fleep? Oh, we actually ran out of EMC. Well, that's kind of a terrifying notion now, isn't it? Let me go ahead. We'll run this operation. Well, okay. Guess that's not even going to last that long. And it is spoopy time. Let me go ahead, sleep it away. Whoop. Yes, please. Oh, wait, never mind. That won't even do anything. Alright, let's take out some red matter. How much do I get per stack? 29 million something? Sure. That was golden apples. That was not what I meant to do. Alright. Oh, wait. Here, give me a stack. There we go. We probably should replace these with octuples at this point. That probably wouldn't be a half bad idea. Because the way we have this now is kind of ridiculous that I have to do it, like, actually. Yeah, probably would make a whole lot more sense to do it that way, so we'll see. I could even just turn these into blocks. Honestly, that would also probably work pretty well. we're basically maxed out right now as is. Yeah, okay, so we're in good shape here. Alright, so where were we? You fabulous, fabulous things. Alright, we got a bunch of 1024s. I am out of logic, so I'm also going to need the other processor then, by extension. Let me get some processors then. Now I'm way more of those than I do the other one. That's alright. Yeah, that's okay. Alright, so let me see here. How are we doing on stock? We have an okay number of the 256s. Probably could do with a little bit more. Alright, let's just throw all these bad boys in. The EMC values that these require is actually pretty darn high, so it's nothing to scoff at for sure. Alrighty, and the glowstone gives out. Totally expected, totally fine. Alright, so let me just go ahead and deposit these bad boys. Grab a whole lot of this stuff. Yeah, even more. Alright. And then with these, we have ourselves some 4096s actually. Let's finish off the batch that we currently have before we get too enamored with the idea of doing other things. Processor. Alright, I don't know why I stopped. Alrighty, and then like this. Alright, so 48, not bad. Not the world's best showing by any means, but could have been worse. Alright. Okay, yeah, that's way better. We have what, 100? No. Excuse you. Let's try it one more time, shall we? There we go. Okay, so we have a stack and change. That's not too bad. I do need, however, you nerds to work together. Alright, I'm gonna have to make some more device storage. And ooh, are we in lawless mode in chat right now? What's going on there? Twitch chat seems to be getting a little bit crazy seeming. Alright, we're gonna have to make more casings, is what we need. Oakley dokley. Fluix dust, quartz, glass, and diamonds. So let's go ahead and get that Fluix dust. Diamonds. And some quartz. Glass. I don't think it's the right proportions, but that's okay. Alrighty, let me see here. I would like to make you a whole lot of times. Beautiful. See, the envy system is a gloriously wonderful thing. It brings smiles to the children of the world and makes wrongdoers pay for their wrongs and makes hoarders like me way happier. So I can hoard in an organized way. It's really the dream come true of a hoarder. And apparently I'm being invited to the Kappa cult. It's very scary. Alright, let's go ahead, go up, and fill up more of these little buggers. And there we go. Now I don't need to really worry about like the manufacturing of stuff, with the exception of one or two things, but I'm not even convinced I'm going to leave it into this particular part of the build. I think that may end up being in a separate area. Because as of right this particular... Oh, we made a whole bunch of advanced storages. Nice. It's really nice, actually. Alright, so we got 2 stacks and change. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. Let's see here. And then we have 24s. Make a whole host of you, and then 4096s that result from you. And then some more of these guys that result from you. And then we get ourselves 19. Go ahead and just smoosh them all together. That's going to be short of one full drive, which is not bad at all. And then, whoo. Alright, we're almost done with one side, fam. And honestly, I might just leave this to one side for now, and then we'll come back later at some other date. I might just do this on stream or do this on my own time. We'll see. So I don't know if I want to subjugate you all to this. You know what? I'm making an executive decision. We're going to upgrade to octuples. And the reason why it's actually kind of important to me, I guess, is the fact that I can hold on to octuples and I can make things from octuples, if that makes sense. So let me look up compress. What's the highest version I have? I have quadruples. Alright, so let me take all my quadruples. Doop. Cool beans. And I'm going to need way more red matter. Alright, then let me just chuck as much of that as in there as I can. Oh. Takes a whole bunch of red matter out, proceeds then to put it back in. Like, Choco, please. Why does your brain stop sometimes? To which I can only imagine people being like, sometimes. Oh, sextuple. Oh, we had a sextuple in here. What the fleep? Well, I guess we didn't have the EMC for it. Alright, there's a septuple. Let's learn that. Alright, 1, 2, 3. And we're slowly climbing up the ladder. Octuple. Now, I don't think octuple can turn into anything, correct? Can you? Block of bedrockium? But that goes down sharply in value, so that does not make a lot of sense. This can turn into something less. This is pointless. This is equally pointless. And that is just the same exact thing. Alright, so we have octuples. That is what we were hoping for, and that is what we got. Now, I do have an excessively large amount of this red matter here, but that is irrelevant because I am now going to go, whoop, another actual, and let's find out. Hi. I was not expecting people to be here. What an interesting moment in my life. Alright, strange times we live in. Let's go ahead and reach into the energy condenser. I am going to need an octuple, actually. Octuple. Now, each of these give me 43 million per, which in stark contrast to our little red matter things, this is child's play, really. It's what, 100 times more, pretty much? It's not quite exactly 100 times more, but it's about there. Alright, so let me go ahead. Let's drop off all this red matter stuff. Oh, that's kind of looking spooky. Alright, so I am just going to start leaving these ones behind. I'm going to let that populate. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do /back, go back to the nether actual, then I'm going to go /home delta, and we'll just go back and forth, and I'll empty out the different things that are in there and get the EMC value for it. That way we can kind of kill two birds with one stone. Alright, I was like, what's going on? Okie dokie smoky. I just realized I'm still on this energy collector, that's okay. I'll just leave it down here for the time being, because it's not really urgent that I do this right now, but it will be fine. Okay, then. Maybe we'll just drop the red matter in here for now. What am I missing, friends? I am missing, at the moment, nothing. Alright, I'm going to need some glowstone. Glowstone. Alright, there's a good chunk right there. And then some more glowstone. Alright, awesome. 1024s. And we are out of a processor. However, we should be a-okay. I think I actually did do them equally, except I kind of stacked it. No, I guess that wouldn't be equal then. It was like just the tiniest bit stacked towards this side, so I think that's okay. Alright, 1024s. Whoops. Wait, was that an oops moment? Nope, that was a good. I did it good. Alright, 4096s. No, that was an oops. And that was a bigger oops. Alright, so 4096. Let's go. And then take my 4096s and convert them into these nerds. 60 of those nerds. Not bad. Not bad at all. Right, and then let's get these to work. I don't know why I'm holding on to those, but they are holding no more. Alright, let's go up. Let's go. I can show you the world. Actually, this should be, what I have right now should be enough to cover whatever is remaining on my right side. So I will leave, once I finish up this right side, I will leave that be. But I just wanted to get the ball rolling here fairly well for us. So that's all fine, Danny. I know it's kind of like, Choco, this is like literally all you've been doing. But this is one of the most important things that I can be doing, so. Because once we have our ME system set up, and setting them up at the max point actually is a really big deal. Because that means I don't have to export drives, I don't have to do weird stuff like that. So it's actually really, really nice to have this set up right from the get-go. That is going to be really, really clutch. So let me see here. Yeah, look at that. We're already filling up some extra slots just for the Vance. Yeah, we're crushing it. Okay, cool. And then I'm sure this EMC table. Here, I'm going to bankrupt our EMC a little bit. Let's get a whole bunch of 256s. These are surprisingly decent for EMC. Let's do that again. So game plan here, bankrupting EMC. So I can do this. Warp back and get going onto this. Alright, looking darn swag. And let's go ahead. Get our little energy collector here. Go back. Wunderbar. So that's going to churn out way less stuff now, but in exchange for churning out way less stuff, each thing that it does churn out will be way better for replenishing my EMC compared to what I have going on right now. Not to say it's bad, but it could be better. So, alright, that is all fine and dandy. Let's go ahead, tap into here, and goodness gracious me, what is this? It doth looketh like it is something where I am in need of emptying out some inventory space. So let me go ahead. Grab that out of there. Put an octuple in there instead. And then just bankrupt it all. Gorgeous, isn't it? Alright. And then boop, just like that. And we are in clear skies, my friends. Alright, looking darn swagtastic, and that actually is going to wrap up another one, which means I am just, for the low cost of one, actually. This is the last one. I'm actually almost done replacing it, which is kind of a nutty thing to think about. Alright, and then just put all this into there. I don't know. I guess since we're already so close, I might as well just make a whole bunch of octuples and just cast them aside. I don't know. Alright, so this red matter into there. Energy condenser is all fine and dandy. That's okay. It's actually an okay outcome. Alright, and then we can just use these to supplement ourselves up. Alright, cool. So now that's all sorted. So we are actually doing a little bit more than what we were expecting to do today, but pretty good. Alright, ME system. We are so close. This is now running pretty much, in terms of storage-wise, right? And that was the main thing. This is effectively done. I am going to do a very minor crafting system here, just in case we end up changing our minds and being like, oh, kind of nice to have some ability to make some kind of crafting. So I'm just in case, we're just going to do a little itty bitty one, all right? So I think I'm going to do 8. We'll see how this goes. This, I am kind of entering a little bit of unknown territory with this stuff, because we're starting to talk about some really truly weird voodoo shrimp. Actually, you know what? Maybe this wouldn't be a half bad idea for. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that would absolutely work. You know what? Forget making these small. Let's make them relatively large. Said Choco in any project that he ever did ever. Let's try. No, that's gonna look silly. That's gonna look really silly. Alrighty. Don't think. Oh, it does work. Oh, this is news to me. Okay. This could work out wonderfully. Okay. Cool. In that case, I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just going to make it so it's all flush. Really cool. Alright, processing units next. Don't need that many processing units, but when has that stopped me? And then we'll just put these nerds like that. And cool, because these are all actually right now active in this whole unit. So I actually do have the ability to craft, which is kind of strange. I do need molecular processors though, or molecular assemblers, or what they're called. So let's get a little bit of those nerds up in here. And this stuff, man, do I wish that was as easy as that, but it's not. It is never that easy. Interface. Alright, so let me get a stack of those. Again, not necessary to get a stack, but I just do it for the sake of doing it, I suppose. Okay, and then let's do an ME interface here. Molecular assemblers like so. That will get power and everything else. And this is the one where actually I think I could get away with just doing that. Because I don't think these two actually will do anything to each other. So yeah, that actually will work. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's actually 100% possible. You know what? Actually, by the same logic, should be possible. Should be possible. ... to do it like this. Wow, that was like perfect spacing. Holy macaronis. Alright, so these things, what they'll be good at is mass creating a whole, or they'll be good at mass creating few items, but they'll do that really well. They will not do well with mass crafting. That is not their specialty. So that will be fine. Now, so we do actually have the ability to craft things at this point, which is nice. Now, they'll be on-demand crafting. They're not going to be things that automatically hold storage in them. What did I do? Ooh, some of these things went offline, actually. Hold on. What did we do? Okay, I think we actually did overburden the system. Dang it! Come on. Alright, hold on. If I remove one layer of you, will you go back to being okay? Will you hate me less? Nope, still hate me a lot. Alright. Okay, that did it. Okay, dokie. Darn. If I do a little bit better wire management, I can probably actually get away with it. But I don't really want to tempt fate here, so I'm just gonna do what the original plan was. Maybe move it up a little bit more. Maybe do like a molecular assembler over here like that. Whoop. Now that shouldn't take anything offline, I don't think. If it does, then what that means is that these two are communicating at that point, and then we fleeped up, and I have to go ahead and just, if I sever that connection, we'll actually be in good shape, but I don't think it will. Alright, so that looks like it's working. So that is actually lit. And so the processing unit is all online at this point. The storage is online. I do need to transfer over the different bits and pieces here and there. Like, I can just make them now. I can make myself the interface terminal, the pattern terminal, and heck, just for the sake of it, let's make an ME terminal. It doesn't really do much for me, but hey, why not? And then let's also fetch ourselves. I think I have some glass cables just lingering around. So let's go ahead, just do that, and then we can just do like these two for the main ones, and then the pattern terminal over here, the interface terminal over here. That's all looking alright. And then I guess for the housing of this, what we can do is get some more lavender quartz. And then we can just mask it a little bit there. Alright. And then what we got ourselves is a whole lot of trouble. But I think trouble that was well worth it. Actually, that would be pretty nice looking. We got that just right. Quartz stairs. Can I get this just right? I'm doing my absolute darndest, guys, to like try to keep in mind aesthetic as we proceed with the base, because I know this drove some of you guys crazy in previous series. We're like, Choco, please, like, why you be so powerful, but then have a house of potato? Like, why do you do this to yourself? And I just had no answer for it besides, I live in potato houses apparently. Okay, I mean. Whoa, what happened to you? Oh, that creates a weird shadow, but yeah. It's alright, I suppose. Alright, cool. I mean, it doesn't look phenomenal, but it doesn't look bad. Here, if I remove these, I can make it look a little bit better. So I could do that. Except now that looks really, really weird that there's a gap there. Okay, then how about we do it this way? I will put another block here. Should have been there anyways. And then I will do... Nope, still makes weird, creepy thing. Except it like ate some of the distance there. Alright, you know what? If you insist on being little doodle bangers about it, fine. I suppose what I'll have to do then is I'll just do this. So it doesn't look too kind of weird. And then it's actually a really cool design. I actually really like that design. Just kind of happened in a weird, funky way. How did I get that to take? Is it this side that I have to do? Oh, wow. That took a weird turn. Come on! Oh, what the fleep is that? Come on. Choco. Brain, please. Do not be dumb. Alright. Fight natural instinct to make very stupid decision. I know it's hard, but must try. Alright. Here we go. Come on. Come on, baby. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you trolling me, game? Game, what the fudge? I don't know what you are doing and what rugs you are on, but you need to get off those rugs. You are going to make this house dirty. Alright, there we go. Now we have 2 spooky corners. That looks actually okay. I'm okay with that. Maybe like a little thing there and a little thing there, just to keep the peace. That's looking alright. That's looking like an okay place for me to go and just like handle my affairs with all my terminal stuff and all that junk. Now I do think there's a way for me to like kind of mask these things. I think the panels are what they're actually for. So for those of you who are like, what are you talking about, Choco? These things. I think we can give them facades. Which does not actually sound that bad. Let's see here. There are... Oh, they do have the cable facade for this. Interesting. Okay. Cable anchor. Ugh. Yeah, another quartz knife. And copper? That seems rather extravagant. Did I ever learn the knife? Darn it. I mean, it's not like it's hard to make, right? I'm not doing rocket surgery here, so. What is it? Sticks, 2 Certus, and yeah, okay. So 2 sticks, and then iron, and then 2 Certus will do the trick just fine. And then I think it's like that, like, whoop, this, yep, Certus quartz cutting knife, learn that bad boy, take the cutting knife, and then, I think copper, and then put these 2, smack them together, cable anchor. Oh, and I got the knife back too, very cool, except I'm going to go ahead and get rid of you now. Alright, cable anchor. Let's see. I've actually never done this before, so this will be kind of an interesting moment to see how this works. So, cable facade, I want this. How do you work? Network aesthetics. Pretty cool. Oh, heck yes! Oh. Oh, mama. Oh, mama! That looks so nice! Why have I never done that before? That is actually quite nice looking, I must say. This is actually like... I rate it so highly, mate. Alrighty, and then for here... For there, let me get some neon glowstone. I should probably make it consistent. Alright, and then that way it isn't dark and spooky, and it's actually kind of bright. Nice. Alright, so cable facades all looking great. I actually like the idea of keeping these open. I think it looks way better, actually, than I originally thought it would look, so I'm totally down with that. I probably should take some more cables just so it looks more consistent. Actually, I may cover this part up. That actually may be fair game. As a matter of fact, I think I'll do exactly that. Hope spooky time. Away. Not suspicious at all. Totally looks normal. Alright, and then... You know what I can do? Hold on, I have an idea. Let's let's go ahead and do this. I know it's like an eyesore right now, but give me one hot second. We'll just use some of these. No, maybe? Whoop, nope. Maybe we can just use some of these, even out the look a little bit. No, doesn't really do it, does it? I mean, if you fly, it looks okay, but I don't know. It's just not doing it for me, man. It's just not right, man. Just ain't right. So what we're gonna have to do then is I'm gonna have to be a little ferret badger, and I am going to have to do it in the old-fashioned way, which is make a pointless wire. Oh, this is so nice looking. This is so good. I love this. It brings me joy to my heart. Hello? Hi, server. How are you? Slightly slow today, are we? Alright, now this part I will cover up, because fleep that. I'm not going to let people see the eyesores. And then... I do have more of these kale facades, so I guess I can use them right here. Yeah. Oh, yeah! Oh, yes! That is actually... I can get behind that. Because that looks really dope, I think. And then once all those green lights go live as well, I think it's going to look really, really good. That's so interesting. Huh, okay. That's coming in together nicely. Alright, regardless, the big takeaway from this, of course, isn't any of this crap in truth. Heavy terminal cannot... Whoa, wait, what? Why am I not able to use any of these terminals right now? It's online. Oh, there we go. What the heck happened there? Yeah, that was strange. Okay. So, I do have the ability to use molecular assemblers. I can make patterns here and everything else. The big deal, the really big deal here, is that now with all this here, all that storage, which is way better than... That is not what I wanted. Alright. It's way better than this. This little itty bitty, oh, a little baby storage. This is not even comparable. So what we're going to have to do now is I have my cyanite one. So I'm going to need to take you home. I'm going to take all that stuff with me. This one's energy. I'm going to leave that as is, because I do need energy to kind of be flowing through. Tessie. I am so thankful in this moment that that did not just destroy everything here. Can I just thank the Lord that that did not do exactly what I thought it would do? Because that would have been horrifyingly awful. Alright, and then this one is for the red matter frequency, which is now octuple cobblestone. So we should probably make that acknowledgement at some point, somewhere, some way. And, oh! This stuff is feeding into red matter. Huh, okay. Well, this is awkward. So I'm gonna need... Can't tell. So one of these 702s has to go. Alright. Let's do it like this. I'll do any interface. And then I will do Tessie. Just like that. And then I want to break these. Did it really pop out of cyanide? Okay, whatever. I'm not going to question that. And then I'm going to rename this... Actually, no. I'm not... Well, I will rename this into octuple frequency. Alright, so that's now called the octuple frequency. I just need to create a new frequency now. Let's see, so 700s are kind of that, 710s are liquids. So what I need to do, I'm going to need to start my own channel string for my magical crops, and this one will be XP crop. Alright, so XP crop. Come on, you can do it. Alright, XP crop set. Alright, that's all looking fine and dandy. You are going to have to send to that XP crop. And then I have to do a little bit of finagling here. Do that. And these. Alright, and then that's going to start flowing just with those XP crops that we are getting. And that's fine. I'm going to leave this here. I do want this to run kind of on its own and do it whatever it needs to do, because it's currently exporting XP bottles into here, which of course feeds specifically for our little experience temple thing that we made for the server. So all in all, cool. I don't mind. With these though, I can start feeding in different little doodads. Where to feed in these doodads is a fine question, one that I did not think entirely through. Well, would that work actually? I think that might actually work. Hold on. I'm gonna put these down here just for the time being. Ooh, actually no, this will not fly. This will not fly. I suppose we're gonna have to make this. I guess we're gonna make it like here, but I would like to fit it in here if I could. Because Tesseracts don't interact with the controllers or anything. They don't care. They really couldn't care less. This is lousy stuff. Ooh, it's trying to do something with the controller. That's not what I meant to do. Thank you, God, for not letting that break everything that I know and love. Holy macaronis. That... every time, man. Every freaking time. My brain just... nope. How is this octuple frequency? This is semi... oh. That's because of those two renegade ones. I need to actually change those then. I did not think they would be doing that. Did I not have export buses? How did I even make that work? Hold on. What? Or import buses? Okay, I do have an import bus. I was like, I'm losing my mind. I don't know how that's happening. No, I'm not crazy yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not quite there. All right, so I'm gonna need import buses. I'm also gonna probably need a whole crap ton of acceleration cards. And by crap ton, I mean 8. But, let's see here. Actually, I think I'm doing this backwards. I'm so scared that I'm gonna like smash straight through and then just destroy the world. Alright, I am going to need... I'm gonna need chests. I'm gonna need some very fancy chests. 2 crystal chests should do the trick. Alright. Up we go. And then... no, wire's too thick. That is unfortunate. Solution. Maybe solution? I hope solution? Yes, okay, this should work. Assuming that nothing stupid happens with molecular assemblers and tesseracts, which I really highly doubt they would. Oh crap, that's gonna split. I need a wrench. Please, wrench, I need you to feel my vibes right now. Please cut this right. Nope. Okay, I think that means that's working. Yes! You are gorgeous. Mwah! I love you, Crescent Wrench. Now, goodbye. I love you, but you have done your job. Goodbye. Alright, so that is now done. And that will gather whatever it needs to for the octuple frequency and do its job. And this will collect whatever it needs to. And then for the import bus, you do, I believe, that. And then get these flukes cables and just pop them onto that. Question mark? If I see redstone coming into the system, I know it's working. If redstone's not coming to the system, then we're in trouble. Okay, good. So it is working. So I'll be like, I don't see anything coming up. It should be coming up. I don't know why it's not showing up there, but whatever. I shall not ask questions. Alright, and with that now, anything that's going to fly through those signals are going to go ahead and be sent into this whole thing. That's good. That's a very good thing. I like it. Oh, man. The stress levels are increasing. Now, the next part of the whole base project is to set up, of course, all these things. And actually, before we even go into that, there's a whole bunch of aether dirt in you. What is my EMC's almost full. Crap. Alright. Hey, red matter. Oh no! What happened? You got dropped on the ground. How unfortunate. Let me throw some of these things away. Quartz fiber, glowstone. I can't throw away cable facade. Well, I can throw away cable facade. I mean, you know what I mean. I'm losing my mind. Ignore me. All right. So these nerds. Ooh, I had some advanced storage there actually myself. Put these in, and then let's see here. I will put in. Nope, not that. I will put in legendary loot bag. Yes. Sure, I'll put in blitz rod, and we will definitely have some Initio essence in here. The crafting thingamajigs, and I suppose that's it, really. Oh, and the advanced storages. But other than that, yeah, I think we're actually in the clear. Because everything else we can EMC, more or less. I keep forgetting. Okay, let's just take one, toss it away. That way I can throw some stuff into here. Alright, very gourd. And then I can go ahead, transfer the aether. I didn't realize what that was. I'm sorry. I looked and I was like, what the fleep is this? Oh, forge. Alright, let's go ahead and just chuck in all that aether dirt. And for those of you wondering why I'm holding on to all my aether dirt, it's because aether dirt, to me, is a building thing that I don't ever want to have to go out and collect unless I absolutely need to. I know that's kind of a sketchy and probably a bad reason, but I really, really don't like digging in the world that I live in. It annoys me to rather crazy extremes, and I don't know why it does, but it really, really ticks me off. Ooh. Is this my old gold bag? Oh, no, that's the Pocky bag. The more you know. Alright, cool. I completely forgot that this thing also works as a hoe. Completely forgot. Alrighty, and then with that bit of aether dirt, ladies and gentlemen, even though it took a while, it is now operational. We can officially, quote-unquote, live here, and it will, quote-unquote, work. We do have a functional Tinker's Construct. We now have a functional, full-blown AE system storage. It's not quite complete yet in terms of being filled out, but I'm sure that you all can appreciate me not doing that with you guys necessarily all the time. Stream, sorry, but you do have to be here all the time because that's just the way the world works. But anyways, that is going to be it for today, everyone. I am going to call it there. If you enjoyed the episode, please be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let me know. Let me know if you're excited about this. If you think this looks good, if you think this looks bad, if you think it looks... I really could care less. I want you to go do something else besides building, which is kind of strange because I have a lot of other stuff to do. And I also have not forgotten about my son. So for those of you who are like just absolutely losing your minds over the fact that my son is still kind of floating around and floating around, don't you worry. Right? You don't have to worry about that. It'll be all right. But anyways, I will see you all next time. Take care and ciao for